Hey everyone, I hope that anyone on the East Coast, in South Florida especially, has fared through the hurricane season and is really safe. I was so worried this weekend, going over everybody's posts and seeing everybody evacuating, but I hope that everyone's safe and doing well. So I have news. Today is the day before we hit the halfway mark of our 80-day obsession journey. Like, time has flown by super fast. I cannot believe how fast it's gone by. And Autumn said today during our workout, she was like, she reminded us, she was like, tomorrow's the halfway point. And she said, can you believe it? And I said, thought no, because I've been thinking so much about time. And yesterday you may have seen that it was my daughter's 18th birthday, and a lot of people are like, it's okay, Mama, you'll be fine. I'm not upset that she turned 18. I am tickled pink. I am so glad that I've raised an amazing young woman. It was just so insane to look back at all the pictures that I had went through last week, because every year I make a little video for all of the kids of, their memories. So I don't know, I hope they think it's special. I do. But I pulled out like old pictures of Haley because there was none on social media like there is of Rebel, because she is a 90s kid, and so I had to get up in the attic, pull down the pictures, scan them, and as I was looking through them and putting them together for a video, it just really dawned on me that literally I can remember every memory as if it was yesterday. I was talking to Ryan last night about a picture that was on the video that of him and her after one of her little award ceremony when she was at Krause Elementary. So she was in like 4th or 5th grade, and I remember that moment like it was yesterday. And so it's insane to think that she is a senior this year. So when Autumn said, can you believe we're, tomorrow's day 40, the halfway point, I'm like, no way, I do believe it. Like, it's insane how fast time flies. And there's so many people out there saying, one day I'll do it, or someday, but I have to wait for this and I have to wait for that. And something that Autumn said during the workout today was that, this is our journey. We don't have to explain it to anybody else. There's going to be a lot of people who don't understand our journey. And I think my whole life has been just really crazy. And a lot of people understand it. A lot of people respect it. A lot of people don't get it. And a lot of people have not understood it, and then later on jumped on the bandwagon with me. And that's what Autumn said, is that a lot of people don't understand it. It's not your job to make them understand, but more often will they watch you and want to know what you're doing. And so this 80 days has been really just surreal, watching what's going on behind the scenes, because if you don't know, we're doing the workouts while it's being filmed. And so Autumn is going through it, and it's so hilarious. You get to know her. We know her personally, but I know so many people watch her videos, own her programs, and they look at her like she's this god or this perfect person, and she's not. She's just a normal person, and she's lifting the same weights or lighter than some of the people in our group, and she's a fitness expert. So many people have these molds or these boxes they think people should fit in, but Autumn's very humble. She's very open. She says hilarious stuff. Like, one of the things that sets out my mind today, she was like, I would do anything for some gangster rap right now. And she's hilarious. The cast is having fun, and that's what's made this whole thing so much fun. And I'm watching the things that she was like, I hate lunges. That doesn't mean she's weak, but I love lunges. Doesn't mean that I'm better than her. And it's been a really eye-opening experience for all of us in the group, because there's some things that some people excel at or other people struggle, and we're constantly reminded that this is our journey, not theirs. It's my journey, not somebody else's. And what is amazing is that there's strength in numbers. And so there's people that I talk to all the time that come to me out of the woodworks that are wanting to get started, and then I don't know what happens. They get inside their own head. They let people defeat them. They let them, or their own self, defeat themselves. But the power of support is huge. And so many people say, oh, I got this on my own, and that's great if you have your own regimen. But is it really working, or are you just going through the motions? Could it be better? I mean, I believe that every situation could be better. Being in this group with the 80-day obsession test group isn't just about the honor and privilege of being able to test out a program before anybody else and represent the company that's changed my life. It's having camaraderie, because really, we're all out seeking connection. And something I heard today was, what is community? Whether it's church, whether it's Beachbody, which some people have said that our organization is like a cult, whatever. Whatever it is people are looking for some commonality in a story, in a shared story. And so that's what we have, is that we're all on this different path. We have different perspectives, and we all bring something different to the table. We're working together. Autumn is really involved hands-on with us, and it's amazing that we're all really focusing on the changes we're seeing in our body, the things that we can do. Like yesterday, we went to pick up, we feed catfish, if you've ever seen our videos here in our pond that we have. And I picked up like a 50-pound bag of catfish, food slung over my shoulder, and Ryan's like, oh wow. I'm like, it didn't even faze me. And so those are the things that, it's nice to be able to, like, oh, I've lost, such and such amount of weight or inches, but to be able to do daily things and not think about it and be able to do it well and not struggle, that's amazing. And for somebody who's a mom who's always carrying groceries, a single mom who has duties that doesn't have somebody to help them, those things are really important. And that's what has been so amazing about this group. And watching Autumn and everybody in the cast, they're struggling. They were having a case of the Mondays today. They struggle with different things. They have to switch and go down in weights, or I've seen them progress along with us. And it's really crazy, because so many people look at other people in an industry or where they want to be, and they tell themselves automatically they can't be there. And what Autumn said today is saying that I've heard before, is like the difference between who you are now and where you want to be is your actions. And so many people spend so much time and energy wishing and hoping and wanting all these different things, and they don't actually put the action into it. And my coach and I, we're running this group, sharing the stuff that we've learned from our life coach and our mini hours of personal development, sharing with people about getting over those limiting beliefs. And today's day 687 of my sobriety journey, and it's been almost 2 years, and it's been so crazy how incredibly weird and different and hard and fun and amazing this journey is. And I was talking to one of my good friends this morning, Tamara, and she was like, so you went skydiving for Haley's birthday yesterday. She's like, how was it? Because she'd went when she was 20 something. And I said that, like, it was nothing like I expected. And I think that so many people tell themselves that they can't or won't do something or could never be like somebody because they have this ideal in their head of the way it's gonna be or the way it should be, or they're scared because somebody somewhere sometime said that this thing didn't work for them. And so that's the one thing, is that going into skydiving yesterday, I had this ideal of what it was going to be like. And the backstory is that my daughter at 14 said she wanted to go skydiving. I have been terrified of heights for my whole entire life. I was always scared. We had the Headlands in Northern California. My grandpa and I'd always go, and he'd stand like, I don't know, it seemed like he was like right on the edge, but obviously he wasn't, but I was so scared he would fall, and like I was afraid he was going to die. I was terrified of heights. I don't even like movies looking over stuff. So whenever she wanted to go skydiving, it freaked me out, because I'm like, wow, okay. But I realized through coaching, because of all the work that I've done on myself, the people I've been exposed to who are always out taking risks, not bad risks, but putting themselves out there, stepping outside of their comfort zone. I didn't want to hold her back, so I was like, okay, kiddo, you want to do this? And then I asked Ryan, do you want to do it? Because everybody knows he's a risk taker. He's an adrenaline junkie. He loves to fly. He loves the air. He loves, anything scary. And so he said he would do it. And so I went to get that for her birthday when she was 14, not even thinking about it because I'd never looked into something like this. She couldn't do it because she wasn't 18. So she said, she's like, well, I'm going to do it when I'm 18. And so this has been something that they said they were going to do together since, for the last 4 years. I totally thought she would change her mind. And I was thinking about it today when I was working out. I'm like, why did I think she was going to change her mind? I'm like, oh, because everybody I seem to see or be around, the majority of the population, they change their mind from one day to the next. They love something and they talk about it so highly, and the next minute they're bashing it and they love something else. And people, it comes to relationships, jobs, anything. And so I thought that, especially since she was young, she would grow out of it. But then I realized that in the last 5 years, I've taught my children to know what they want. I've given them the space and the freedom and the education to be who they want to be and to explore. And they've been, around so many different people and diverse, cultures and different lifestyles, from living between two homes and having, a stepfather who's, way more, risk-taking than their father and I. And so they've been exposed to all this stuff. So, it's no doubt that she stuck to this. She knew what she wanted to do. And I realized that she's not me. And so when it got down to the wire where it's like, oh shit, I turned 36 this year, and I remember thinking like, oh God, this is the year that we're going to be exactly half, you know, she'll be half my age. She'll be the age that I was when I had her. And I remember the age 36 was like more important or more monumental to me than age 21 or any of these things, because I just remember thinking like I could be a grandma at 36, or you know, I did just remember thinking it was so far away. And then when I turned 36, it kind of just hit me like, oh wow, this is the year. And then I've asked her, did you still want to go skydiving? I kept asking her, she's like, yeah. And I made the decision that I was going to go with her, and it was so uncharacteristic of me and of my fears. But I'll say, because of fitness, which people have mocked what I do, people are scared of what I do, people don't understand the obsession and the addiction of what I do, it's taught me to step out of my comfort zone. It's taught me to go further. It's taught me that I can do anything. It's put me with people who believe in me that I can do these things. I have went to events of like Tony Robbins, like Ryan said last night. He's like, I really think that Tony Robbins is really what got you to do this, because he was like, I'm really proud of you. You know, I think that we all thought I was going to chicken out, and it wasn't in a bad way. It was just who I was. And, you know, and so I do say it is Tony Robbins, but if it weren't for fitness, I would have never gotten to Tony Robbins. I would have never gotten that plane. And I have shared videos and pictures of us, you know, yesterday basically celebrating 18 years of life at 10,000 feet above ground. And I've seen a slew of people that said what the old Mindy was said. I would never do that. You're crazy. I can't believe that. I would never jump out of a perfectly good airplane. That's like the one-liner that everybody says about skydiving. But I heard that, and I get it, because like I was that person. I would have been like, you're fucking insane. I would never do that. Like, absolutely not. But to me, it was like I just made this decision and I was going to do it, mostly because I worked my ass off the last, you know, 5.5 years to be my own boss, to be myself, to be comfortable with who I am, to be unapologetically me, and let my children be that way. I worked hard to get sober, to set a good example for them. And I've learned that I can do anything and everything. And I remember all those years when my ex-husband had tons of time off at work, where his mom was home, where Ryan was self-employed, and I constantly put them in my spot because I couldn't take off work. And so I realized that like this was her 18th birthday, like I could be there. So I chose to be there because I didn't want another memory of something special of me not being there. And you know, I was thinking today when I was talking to my friend, this makes me emotional, is that, you know, when I was drinking all the time, these things wouldn't have happened. Like all of the kids' birthday parties over the years were always at places that served alcohol, and alcohol was always present. And you know, I would have been hungover on a Sunday. I would have never thought about jumping out of an airplane. And I think back about 2 years ago on her 16th birthday, you know, that's like a pretty big, you know, monumental thing for a kid. And we made sure that we celebrated her birthday on September 8th. I went and got her lunch on September 9th, got her out of school early. We got in an argument because it was fueled by one of my old friends that was trying to draw a wedge between me and my husband and me and my kids, me and my ex-husband, me and my friends. And we got in a fight, but then we ended up going with that person out to a party on the river for like 4 days. And it was all because alcohol. And I think about that I am so glad that I've been surrounded by the people that I am, that I've put in the hard work that most people won't, because it made me get sober. And I'm 687 days sober. And on her 16th birthday, I left. I celebrated her birthday early and cut it short and left her on her birthday so that I could go party and do my thing, because it was all about me, because it was about my pain, about my fun. And you know, I look at the last 2 years. Last year we had an amazing summer. You know, we went to Disneyland. We traveled a lot. Her and I went to a Texans game together. I was present for all these things. And then on her 18th birthday, I did something with her that was scary for me, and she knew it was, and she was proud of me. And I proved to myself that I could do anything. And now I realize that like these fears are just ridiculous. Like Ryan said last night, you know, about skydiving. He was like, these people in the skydiving business, they're not in the business to kill you. They're in the business to keep you alive and them alive and have fun. And so all these things were just ridiculous fears that held me back, that kept me in this box, that made me stop living. And it was scary as hell. Like, I'll tell you, like the flight up was scary. I don't like little planes. But, you know, the moment we jumped out of the plane, it was like
the most surreal moment on so many levels. And then I just realized that I could have never done that if I was still drinking. And I owe this all to fitness. It started so small, and so many people feel so lost in their life. They don't know where they're going. And it just takes putting one foot in front of the other, and maybe one weight at a time, whatever you want to say. But those things have all added up. And I just think that time is going to go by no matter what. 687 days of my life of sobriety has gone by, and it's been hard, but moments like yesterday made it all worth it. You know, I've been working out for over 5.5 years. I've been a mom for 18 years, and nothing's been pretty, nothing's been easy, but there's those moments where it makes it all worth it. And I just really urge you to, like, don't wait till it's too late. I mean, I feel like I have pissed away so much time of my kid's life, and having a kid turn 18 and looking at pictures and realizing how it felt like yesterday, and how you kept saying, oh, tomorrow I'll get sober, or tomorrow I'll do something with them, or next year it'll be better, and realizing that it's just up. It made it so much more real. And so many people wait on their health, on their fitness, on fixing their marriage, on getting their finances straight, or so many things until it's too late. And like, time flies by. I mean, I can't stress that enough. It's like, and that, with that, if you make the wrong decisions repeatedly, you're going to stay where you are. You're going to get stuck, and you're just 5 years from now, if you don't change how you are now, what is it going to be like? Are you going to be happier? Do you know what you want? And I know it sounds silly if you're not into fitness, because I was where most people are. I hated working out. I didn't want to work out for many reasons, but because of that, it ultimately changed my life and changed my relationship with my children. And so, like, I may have had 3 decades of regret, but I'm not going to have a whole lifetime of regret. And I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to be healthy, and I'm going to be involved with my children, with my grandchildren, and we have that relationship. And that makes it's because of fitness, because I work out, I'm happy, because I'm into fitness, I'm with people that have a great perspective, who are positive, because I constantly want to grow. I'm going to places and being around people that change me, and so that will make me a more pleasant person to be around. Not perfect, but more pleasant. If I had stayed in that place, in that space where I was, my kids wouldn't have talked to me. I mean, like 2 years ago, Haley and I were having issues. A lot of it was spurred on by somebody causing problems, so that didn't help. But I know that I needed to change. And when things become so painful, and then you see the pain that it's going to continue to cause, that's when that everything changes. And so many people are just so busy going through life, so busy feeling sorry for themselves, staying depressed, staying mad, blaming people, drowning their sorrows, that they don't ever look at, like, the damage they're doing, and they have 100% control of changing their life. And that is what I realize, is that I'm in the driver's seat. And it kind of took jumping out of a plane yesterday to be like, fuck it, I can do anything. And I believe you can do anything and everything. I believe that 100%. I do know some people don't want to be saved. Some people don't want to change. But mostly it's because they don't think that they can, or they're around assholes who don't think that they can either. So anyways, that's my message for today. And tomorrow is day 40 of our 80-day obsession. I did redo my measurements today, and my weight is fluctuating between 1 and 3 pounds lost, but I'm not really worried about it, because I'm packing on muscle. Like, I can see when I move my arms that I have way more muscle than I did 40 days ago, but I'm down like 17.5 inches. I've lost 5.5 inches off of my waist. I mean, my husband said, well, you know, your sides are really tight. I feel great, and I feel like mentally strengthened. And it was cool yesterday when we walked into the place to go skydiving. I mean, I get this all the time because I don't know why. People were like, the guy was like, do you CrossFit? I'm like, no, but I do Beachbody. I work out all the time. He's like, oh, I could see how, you know, your legs were muscular and blah, blah, blah. And so, like, that's a good feeling. I never had that. But to be able to recognize it, you know, to me, it's not like, oh, I have muscles, but it's like, oh, this person takes care of himself. Like, I think that's the sexiest thing ever, is when somebody takes care of themselves and is confident. And it all starts with self-care, and part of self-care is exercise. So if you're sitting on the fence, today's a Monday. If you said you were going to start on a Monday, why not today?